If there's one video you want to watch on my YouTube channel, this is it. My name is Eric Kimberling. I'm the CEO of Third Stage Consulting. We're an independent consulting firm that helps clients throughout the world reach the third stage of digital transformation success. And if you've watched my YouTube channel to any capacity, you know that I like to teach people best practices and lessons from all of our experience helping clients through their digital transformations. And there's a few different ways you can learn. You can certainly learn on YouTube. You could go to a big expensive school like the one behind me, or I could boil down the 10 things that you need to know about digital transformations. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. Now, to be completely transparent, the way I came up with this top 10 list is that I plugged in all of my YouTube channel content into ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT to analyze my YouTube channel, all 1,000 plus videos that I've posted over the years. And I asked it to analyze what are the top 10 lessons for my own videos. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. Before we dive too far into today's content, I want to share a little bit of information about Third Stage Consulting and who we are. Third Stage Consulting Group is an independent technology agnostic provider of consulting services to help clients through their digital transformations. We help with digital strategy and software selection, as well as implementation planning. And during implementation, we provide services related to program management, organizational change, business process improvement, as well as enterprise architecture. These are just some of the services we provide. We have offices in North America as well as Europe and Asia Pacific. So if you'd like to learn more, I encourage you to check out our resource center, which includes a number of resources that will help you through your digital transformation, and you can access that for free using the QR code here or the links below. You can also reach out to me directly if you'd like to discuss your digital transformation and brainstorm ideas on how to improve where you're headed on your journey. Now let's jump back into today's content. So the first thing that ChatGPT picked up on in my YouTube videos is that ERP selection is critical. It's so important that you find what technology is going to work best for your organization. It's critical that you define your business requirements and prioritize your business requirements. And it's critical that you find the software that's going to best suit your needs for the future, not just where you are today. So ERP software selection is one of the big topics that I cover on my YouTube channel. It's one of the most critical steps to success. In fact, it's one of the prerequisites and requirements for success. It doesn't guarantee success, but if you choose the right ERP software and the technology that fits your business the best, chances are much better that you're going to have a chance to succeed than if you hadn't done that. I don't know if I've ever completed a video successfully without talking about change management, and therefore change management is high up on the list here of things that ChatGPT picked up on in my content. And to summarize here, organizational change management is another prerequisite and critical success factor. In fact, every ERP failure that I've seen and analyzed in my career has involved faulty or ineffective change management. So in order to be successful, you've got to have effective change management that goes well beyond just basic training and communications. You need to address resistance to change. You need to provide organizational clarity for what the organization and the operations are going to look like in the future, and a whole host of other things. Now, I won't dive into all the specifics of change management in this one video, but if you'd like to learn more, scan this QR code right here. You can download our Guide to Organizational Change Management. It's a free guide that you can get on our website. It talks about how to manage organizational change and some of the different work streams you should be thinking about within change management. A third trend that ChatGPT recognized from my YouTube channel is the fact that I talk a lot about business process management. Business process management is critical to the success of an organization and its transformation. In fact, if you don't focus on business processes and you go in focusing just on technology or primarily on technology, you're likely going to fail. So it's really important that you understand not only your current state, but also what your future state is and what your desired target operating model is. Once you've defined that future state, then you can find the right technology and implement the technology that's best going to fit that business process model. So in order to be successful, make sure you do focus on business process management. And if you search my channel, you'll find a ton of videos about business process management as well. One of the biggest themes for my YouTube channel is how to avoid pitfalls of digital transformation. And I'll share two with you, two of the most common pitfalls we see in digital transformations. One is unrealistic expectations. Organizations that don't fully understand how much time, money, and resource commitment it's going to take to be successful in their digital transformations. So that's one pitfall. A second pitfall is not focusing enough time on organizational change management, not investing enough in change management. That's a common challenge as well. And why that is because so many organizations lead with technology, focus on technology myopically, and fail to recognize the importance of organizational change management. You can learn more about some of these pitfalls by searching my YouTube channel for failure. If you just search the word failure, you're going to find a lot of case studies and examples and explanations for why projects fail, and that'll give you a good deeper dive beyond these 2 pitfalls I've shared with you here today. Another common theme for my YouTube channel is how important it is to define a digital strategy and an implementation strategy that best fits your organization, best fits your culture, best fits your industry, and best fits your overall scenario, your overall situation. Every organization is different. Every organization is in a different industry, has different competitive priorities, different strengths and weaknesses, and you've got to define a strategy that best aligns with who you are today and also where you're headed in the future. And guess what? That strategy and approach is probably going to look a lot different than a competitor that has a completely different strategy or is in a completely different situation right now. So it's really important to not only look to the external market and look to your peers and what they're doing, but even more important, it's important to look inward at yourself and understand who you are today and what you're trying to become in the future and tailor your overall strategy to fit that. If you've watched my YouTube channel for any period of time, you've probably picked up on the fact that I'm sometimes critical of our own industry. I oftentimes call out what I see as some of the unethical and undermining behaviors in the industry, things that undermine client success. And so one of the things I talk about in this channel is the importance of managing vendors. Vendors have their own self-interest. They're trying to sell you software. They're trying to, in many cases, run up the tab on services as it relates to technical implementations. And that's not always in your best interest. You do have to spend money with these outside vendors, but it's important that you manage the vendors and you don't let them manage you. And I'm not just talking about cost here, I'm talking about ownership of the project. You want to make sure that you have ownership of the project, your internal team has ownership of the project, and not your software vendor, not your technical implementation consultants, and not even your third-party consultants like Third Stage. If we're involved, we shouldn't own it, you should own it. We're there to advise you and help you take ownership of that project. So vendor management and overall ownership of the project is something that is one of the top lessons from my YouTube channel. I can talk all day about theoretical concepts and I can whiteboard frameworks for how to make your project more successful. I can tell you about the failures I've seen. I can tell you about the successes I've seen. But the best thing and the best way to learn is to understand specific case studies. What exactly did a company that was successful do? And how is that different from another case study where a company failed? And that's a big part of what I cover on my YouTube channel. I cover successes and failures. And in many videos, I try to contrast the two. What makes a success different from a failure and vice versa. The good news is it's not rocket science. It's not a proprietary formula that only I know or that only software vendors know. You can know it too and just watch my YouTube channel and watch some of the case studies on there. Now, the best place to go if you want to find case studies and you want to dive deeper into some examples is to go to my weekly podcast called Transformation Ground Control. If you go to transformationgroundcontrol.com, you'll see all the episodes of that podcast that I've released since 2021. And every week I have a different guest, or in many cases, multiple guests that provide case studies and examples of how they've succeeded or failed in their digital transformations. So learning from case studies is one of the biggest lessons you'll pick up on my YouTube channel. Project management is one of the biggest themes you'll see on my YouTube channel as well. Project management is critical. If you don't have the right governance and controls in place to ensure that things stay on track and that you identify and mitigate risk before they become too big of a problem, you're going to fail. And not only is project management important, but program management is important. It's important that you not only manage things from a technical workstream perspective, but you have that overall enterprise program management office that manages technical work streams as well as non-technical work streams. Things like organizational change management, business process improvement, the overall architecture, the integration, the data migration. All these different things that your software vendor probably doesn't do or doesn't do well are things that need to be addressed, and that's something that typically falls under the purview of the overall overarching program management office. Now, if you'd like to learn more about the difference between program management and project management, check out this video right here. It's a video where I whiteboard the difference between project management and program management, and I unpack the concept of program management in a lot more detail. So check it out right here. Too many organizations implement technology for technology's sake without a clear vision of where they expect to realize business value. Even of the ones that do define where they expect to get business value, they don't necessarily go back and measure how they actually performed and did they achieve the expected business value. That's why one of the most common topics you'll see on my YouTube channel is continuous improvement, value creation, benefits realization, all the things related to getting a positive return on investment for your investments in technology. So in order to be successful, you want to have a clear vision of what it is you want to get out of the investment, where you expect to see the business benefits from a tangible, quantifiable perspective, and you also want to measure those results afterwards. Once you've measured the results, you then want to go back and do continuous improvement. That's the only way you'll get the business value you expect to get. I'd love to say that if you just implement it perfectly from the start, you're going to get all the business value you expect, but that's not going to happen. You've got to go back and do that continuous improvement and think of digital transformation as a journey, not just a one-time event. So these are just some of the things that are important themes for my YouTube channel. These are the things that ChatGPT told me are the most common themes on my YouTube channel. And hopefully this is giving you a sort of flyover view of what it is you need to know about digital transformations to be successful. Now, if you'd like to learn more about digital transformation best practices and things you need to know to be successful, I encourage you to read our ebook called Lessons from 1000 Digital Transformations. ChatGPT did not write this ebook. I actually wrote it a couple of years ago, and it covers 20 different things that I think are most important for you to know and understand about digital transformations in order to be successful. And I'll be curious to hear your thoughts on how that ebook compares to the top 10 things that ChatGPT summarized for me here in this video. So I hope you found this information useful and hope you have a great day. That are experienced from ERP failures, which you can, man, that was a messy sentence. For a while, you know that I'm not, what's the word? Let me think of the word first. I oftentimes take,
I'm sorry.
you're like, what the hell are you going to say?